Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. Live stream, League One live, just a 1-0 this week. Load of draws, managerial casualty, new leaders at the top, goals galore in some games, lots of talking points. I'm sure we'll have the first 4 games wrapped up by 9:15, and somehow we'll get the other 8 games done in 15 minutes. To join me is my good mate, Jake Tong, from Here for Lincoln podcast. Jakey Tong, mate, how are you? How are you, mate? Hang on, we need to get off mute.
It's all about you, baby. Come on, Ben. You love a bit of a sing-song. Hello, mate. How are you? How are things?
Great, mate. Yeah. Good day. For me, how about you, mate? How are you? How's football?
I'm fine. Yeah, I know you're trying to provoke me, but
I'm not trying to provoke you. I'm trying to get the topic away from my football team. When I do get into it, oh my God.
Why are you talking about a League Two team on League One Live, Ben? Come on, I thought we've been through this. We've been through this.
Carry on.
How am I? Yeah, I'm okay, mate. I'm perfectly fine. I've got a little bit of the lurgy, but hopefully I can shake that off by the end of the show. But yeah, no, it's all good, mate. It's been a decent weekend. Good day at the football yesterday. I had a nice coffee and a bit of cake with flowers. Saw the boys, saw Sue, saw Paul. It was nice. It was a lovely day. Ruined by the football. But yeah, no, it's good, mate. Mainly good. Been productive today. Started packing up. Packing this flat up for when I move out in a couple of weeks. But yeah, no, it's been good, mate. How's your weekend? I know it started off well and then it just got worse.
Yeah, I went to a gig Friday. Enjoyed that. Enjoyed the journey down to Cheltenham. Again, I'll say it again. I watch us. I don't see a style of play. Don't see an identity. People will look at results and look at stats yesterday thinking we've had 19 shots on goal. You watch that game, most of those shots are P-rollers down the keeper's throat and they're not good opportunities at all. I was embarrassed yesterday. I was embarrassed watching us yet again. Things will change soon. I'm very sure of that. I'm very, very sure on that. And yeah. So I'm not going to talk about a League Two side on here, but because I'm frankly seething, to be honest with you, absolutely seething with a number of players, all the players really. Let's be honest, we're middle of the road League Two football club. We'll never be back on here for a long, long time until things dramatically change. And that's not me being negative. That is stone facts. Stone cold facts in my opinion per se. We will get into it. We will get into it. Say hello to people in the chat because I'm trying to cheer myself up. I don't like how large it is. But anyway, Doncaster get an okay draw. Evening, lads and ladies. Up them Brewers. Hello, Parmex. You all right, mate? Hello, David. Hello, Chris. Hope you're well. Good to see you. It's an excellent start. I feel I look like... Do you know what, like when you set your football manager career up on Football Manager and you pick someone with glasses? That's how I feel I look right now. My glasses smashed on same lenses on Friday. I have got another pair coming. These are going to be my backup pair. So, yeah, there we are. Hello, Ben Gill. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Dave Nash. Hope you're well. Pete Wild has played 3 bottom of the league teams and lost to all 3. Right. So we are, mate. So we are. Right, let's start. Let's get into it. We had new leaders at the top of the table, Jake. Stevenage beat Luton Town by 2-0.
Okay. That was very unorthodox of you, Ben. You just throw me in the deep end here.
You talk.
You want me to talk? Yep. Voice break. This is very abstract and very different. But yeah, I will start as. It's fantastic. I mean, ironically, I get a text at the same time every single week at the minute. I've just had
Just
it
text me.
from Mr. Farley. He's just texting in a group that Ben Ticker on the bottom. Ben got it on, just so you know. Good lad. Yeah, from Mr. Farley, they seem to be able to do no wrong at this minute in time, Stevenage. And fair play to them yesterday. They rode the look at times. Luton, I watched the highlights back earlier this afternoon. Luton had chances. If Luton had been a little bit more clinical, I thought they could have got themselves 2 or 3 goals in front, but they didn't, and which is such the nature of Luton Town at the moment. They just can't take the chances, even despite going back to this back four. Stevenage had theirs and they took them. Chem Campbell, lovely finish. Jordan Roberts as well from it, getting on the end of a cross as well. So, yeah, fair play to Stevenage. They've had a fantastic start to the season. That's, played 10, they've won 8 of them, 25 points. They're halfway to staying up already, and we're not even at the, we're only in the start of October. They were absolutely outstanding yesterday, I thought, and like I say, deserved the win. I don't think you can say anything else, but yeah, they were good. They're surprised, like people say that they're surprised by Stevenage, but I think the fact that they've been together for so long, they know what they are. We always say this about certain teams, and they know their capabilities, their limits, their boundaries, and they play to their strengths. And look, they've won 8 games out of 10. I envisage that games might start getting a little bit harder. Teams might now go there to sit deep and try and frustrate them. They've got a couple of difficult games coming up, obviously with no game over the international break, but a game with Lincoln on the return of that, and Bradford to play before the end of the month. If we're talking about Stevenage come Halloween as a team that are still in the top 2, then I think they're not going anywhere. They've got that momentum, haven't they? We saw it a couple of years ago when they first came into the league. They got points on the board really quickly, and that built momentum and it built confidence, and it became very difficult to stop. And ultimately, it wasn't until sort of February, March time where they really slowed down and stopped getting points. I fear that this could happen again for Stevenage. They're into a groove, they're clicked, they've got options, and yeah, fair play to them. A great win yesterday, and top of the league, Stevenage. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, I think they're very good at what they do. They're very effective. They hurt teams at right moments. You score in key times. They've been together so long. I think Luther Widlin at the back has been there as long as I've been alive, pretty much. Sweeney, Good, Freestone. And they were out, Pedriani yesterday, who didn't play. He's been a big part of what they've wanted to do. If I must say, I think that Harvey White's been one of the best players in League One this year for his output, getting goals from midfield. He's just a very good progressive footballer. Jordan Horton's been a nice addition. Then they've got savvy players like Kem Campbell, Dan Kemp and Bez Labala, and Jamie Reid pops up with big important goals, got an assist yesterday. They've been together, they know what they are, they do the basics so well. They defend as a team, they put blocks in. They are a proper League One, League Two, National League type of side. They're good at home, they're strong at home. They often score 2 goals at home. They keep clean sheets, they're tight at the back, they're frustrating to play against. People will think they should be beating Stevenage, and Stevenage won't keep this up because they're called Stevenage. They have an average gate of about 4,000. It was packed yesterday. In a derby, they're doing well, averaging 2.5 points a game. They've lost 5. They've lost 1 game to Huddersfield by a goal, and they drew to Mansfield. So I've been really impressed by this Stevenage side. I just think they do the things so well, and they're so effective, and they're one of those type of sides that are frustrating to play against. Look, it's 10 games. It's a big sample size, is that. At home, they've beaten the sides they should be beating, but away from home, they've gone to Leyton, Orient and won. They've gone to Blackpool and won. They've gone to Port Vale and won and found a way late on. They're finding a way to win games of football. People say it's an easy start. That's rubbish. Absolute rubbish, because there's no easy start in this division. Anyone can beat anyone. And you've seen that. Peterborough got a point off Bradford and went to Home Park and won. Blackpool, beat Huddersfield. Rotherham have found a way to get a point off Bradford. Anyone can. Burton went to Cardiff. There's no easy game in this division. And Stevenage, remind me very much of what Wycombe were under Ainsworth. They make their place, the Lameks, their home. And if you're going to come at them, you're going to have to catch them on an off day, but you're going to have to be absolutely on it. I'm going to be speaking to Matt Farley tomorrow. I'm a bit worried because he's not the type of guy that will get too excited. I think that he'll be a bit, low key. He won't get too ahead of himself. He's definitely not already planning a trip to Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Ham, and Burnley and co. I do want to talk about Luton, who hit and miss. I watched them on Tuesday night. I wanted to watch them because I wanted to watch Steve Bruce, I wanted to watch Matt Bloomfield, and I wanted to see that game. And they were 2-0 down, and I didn't think they did too much wrong, but I thought they were passive, really. If I'm honest with you, they made key mistakes in key areas. They got themselves back into that game of football on Tuesday night and found a way in that last kind of 15-minute period. But yesterday, again, they came up against a side that shut them out. They had 3 shots on goal, and they didn't really do much in the game of football. They didn't really create too much. And they are on the back of back-to-back relegation, and sometimes consistency is key, getting victories on the board. But I often feel that Luton are just a bit rubbish at this moment in time. They're just a little bit playing within themselves. There's good players in there, but it's going to take time, this, I think, and patience is needed. So it'll be interesting to see where Luton Town go from here. 5 wins, 1 draw, 5 defeats.
Is he close, Ben, do you think, to be
I think
it's
Luton fans want him out. On this one, I don't agree. I think Matt Bloomfield should be given time. If you look at his time at Wycombe, things take time in football. Luton Town have got back-to-back relegations. This is a football club that has been, as a club, in crisis management. When you look at it, in the Premier League, they did so well to get there. They only won 6 games that season. Then they go into the Championship and lose back-to-back games. They win 13 games last year, don't get me wrong, but they lost 23. So it's not like they've been losing lots of games. They've just not been winning enough games. And they've only won 24 times across the last 103 games. And it's not enough, is that? And, well, I'd say 100 games, obviously, because Premier League and so on. But they're winning 1 in 4. And this is a football club that overachieved and probably is a Championship football club at heart. And they want to get there. But sometimes you need a year of where you just stop the rot. You reset, you finish mid-table. And it's not a great year, but it's your foundation year. Matt Bloomfield is a good young coach. I genuinely believe that. Has he got his faults? Yes. Is it a big job for him? Yes. But they got him out of Wycombe in January. And he brought his own players in, but there's still a lot of the players still there. I still think that he deserves till the end of the year to reset and give him time. For me, there's certain managers in this league that I think that should. I can probably name 5 more managers that I think that should be called out a lot more than they are before Matt Bloomfield, per se, Jake, if I'm honest with you. Talking to managers, Steve Bruce was relieved of his duties yesterday. Blackpool 0, AFC Wimbledon 2. Before we get on to Blackpool, I think that the attention will be on Blackpool from the wider perspective that those that follow EFL and Blackpool fans will be thinking of it. AFC Wimbledon have been a breath of fresh air since arriving into League One. They've already won more games at this level than the last time they were in here and got relegated. They drew, they drew like 19 or 20 games last time they were in here. They only won 6 games that season. They've already won 7 of the first 11 and they've won the last 4. 21 points picked up, 16 goals scored. Orsi with a brace. Blackpool 0, AFC Wimbledon 2. How good were the Wombles yesterday, Jake?
Well, they took the moments, didn't they, yesterday? Admittedly, the first goal, which is given as a penalty, Ben. I don't know if you've seen the heart. I'm assuming you have. It's not a penalty. It's a free kick outside the penalty area. They've been fortunate, but you have to take those when you go to Blackpool and you get given an opportunity like that. You have to take it, and they did. Danilo Orsi, someone that didn't even get in the Burton team 6 months ago, shipped out on loan to League Two, scoring goals now regularly at this level for AFC Wimbledon. Fair play to him. And then, yeah, I thought they're very good. They took the moment, like I say, and the second goal comes. And to be fair, they could have and maybe should have had more than just the 2 goals. Bugil went through on goal, didn't he? And maybe should have done better with it straight at Peacock Farrell. But yeah, massive respect to AFC Wimbledon. They've done very well. They've been very good at home, but away from home, I've been quite surprised with them. They are perfect for the way they're set up, aren't they? They soak up the pressure, and then when they get these moments on the road, they are generally taking them at the moment. It was a great win for them. I thought they were outstanding, and Johnny Jackson deserves a huge amount of credit for the job that he's done. Were they surprised to get promoted at the end of last season? Maybe. I think when you line them up against Walsall, based on what Walsall did in the first half of the season, I think many people would have had them as favourites, but they got the job done on the playoff final. And again, this season they've just started like a duck to water, haven't they? We've seen that a lot with newly promoted teams coming into League One. I think of Cheltenham, I think of Cambridge, I think of Exeter, Port Vale, Stevenage, teams like that. So, yeah, fair play to them. I thought they were very good, outstanding even. And I think Johnny Jackson, like I say, deserves a huge amount of credit for the way that he gets them set up. Because if you look at them on paper, Ben, they're not exactly. Yes. I'm not saying that, but if you look at them on paper, they're not. This is where I'm going to give them so much credit. They're not a sexy unit, are they? There's no sexy players in that team there for AFC Wimbledon. There are players that are had a go at this level and been disregarded before. The likes of Ali Smith, Danilo Orsi, Hippolyte at Stockport, Seddon at Oxford. Patrick Bow, I think, has been a huge addition at the back for them. I think he's been outstanding. I thought they were brilliant yesterday, and they took the moments. And to be honest, it didn't really look like conceding, but they got helped on their way with the refereeing decision. But you have to make sure you take those advantages, don't you?
Blackpool were spineless yesterday, but it ultimately comes down to Wimbledon. They frustrate teams like you wouldn't believe, and they had their game plan executed to a T. I felt that Blackpool had 55% of possession, and Blackpool did this, and Blackpool did that. I watched the extended highlights, and you hear people at the game, and I listen to the bits of the commentary back and the post-match review. Blackpool's main possession came in their own half. Pass. As soon as they get the ball forward, Blackpool, they're absolutely... They are awful. They're absolutely awful. I watched them against Luton and I couldn't believe how bad it was. And there were players crowding each other and not running on or making a run or getting in behind and causing... They were getting tight. When Blackpool are running forward and the attackers are playing forward, they need the attackers to space out and give each other space, because then it creates a gap and it creates confusion in the back line. Blackpool are so easy to play against. And this is two sides that you think that how Blackpool have been playing, how Wimbledon have been playing, is a typical away day win. Because Wimbledon can sit in their shape, because there's not many teams better than Wimbledon, at going away from home, sitting in the shape and frustrating. They've done it for years in League Two under Johnny Jackson. They were excellent at it last year, the best in League One, League Two to do it. That's why they ultimately got promoted, because they get the goal in front and they sit on it. 75% of the time in League One and League Two, if you score first in a game, ultimately you get a positive outcome, draw or win. And they let Blackpool have it. Blackpool had played 3 different formations yesterday. I think it says it's a 4-4-2, but I look at that and I think, will it be Casey, Hickway, Horsfall as a back three, and Coulson and Hamilton as the wing backs, with Morgan, Brown and Evans in midfield, with Bowler and Taylor up front. That's how I think it started, and I think they did go probably 4-4-2 in the end. But ultimately, I just think Blackpool are a team of individuals right now. I really, really do. I don't see a team. I don't see a way of playing. I don't see a philosophy. I don't see an identity. I don't see a real structure, and I don't see where they want to go. So I'm getting confused between the two Vale Coast teams here. But it's
no, you're not confused. It's just you've had a stint of supporting both of them.
Exactly. I look at them and they frustrate me. Josh Bowler's got moments of quality, but he looks so far off it. That has to be said. Evans has been atrocious at times this year. I like Jordan Brown. I think he's good. He committed a clumsy foul yesterday. I will say that he's 100%. Never in a million years is that a penalty kick. It's never a penalty. It's a foul. It's never a penalty. He's 2 yards out of it per se. But if you understand, I think that Blackpool fans would have probably taken that penalty to lose the game and get rid of Bruce. Let's be honest about it. Short-term pain, long-term gain, I think. Some of the things I've heard about Steve Bruce, apparently travel on the team bus. He wasn't out training. I just feel that they're not coached and they're not really being told what to do, and they're just going out there on tactic, on vibes and experience, and they're beating sides because they're better than each other. And I just look at them and I just think there's no cohesion here. They're not playing for him, and the body language is quite frankly alarming. I watched one and when they were 2-0 up and 2-1, and he took some of the choose off, and they were clearing it rather than passing. It was wave after wave. A penalty got given, which was a penalty. Eventually, you got given it. But eventually, Luton scored. You always knew it was going to happen. And they've not got a point away from home. This is Blackpool, for God's sake. They're 23rd in League One. They won 2 out of 11. Like, that is bad. They conceded 19 goals. This is a side that have got good players. You know, the fans feel they've got every right to be at the top end of this division, which certainly, in my opinion, they should be in and around the top 10 at bare minimum. Performances have been alarming. Results have been alarming. And yeah, this is a Steve Bruce thing. He signs good players and he just wreaks havoc with them. I feel now they need to go in the direction of a good coach, give him time, and let him coach and let him develop other players. And I just feel Bruce isn't hungry and doesn't match Blackpool fans and Blackpool's ambition. I just feel that he wasn't a Blackpool man. He wasn't a Blackpool's manager. I feel all Blackpool want is attacking intensity and hunger, a desire to get better and to go to the very end. I've been thinking Stephen Dobby. I think that he knows the football club. Take a gamble. Ian Everett, obviously, Stephen Dobby's played for them as well plenty of times. Ian Everett's been there for years, but is he the right man right now? Richie Wellens gets mentioned. You'd have to throw money at him. Leyton Orient are an ambitious football club. I think he wants to manage in the Championship.
I don't think you'd get Richie Wellens.
I think Blackpool would have the pull if he could afford him to get Richie Wellens out of Leyton Orient.
I don't.
He's from Greater Manchester. He's often talking about being home with his family. I genuinely feel that
very settled at Leyton Orient, though. Very settled.
Is he?
The chairman will. Parmex will back me up. The chairman will literally pity patter around anything like Richie Wellens says. I don't. If Blackpool want Richie Wellens, I don't think they could get him. I don't think that job's at the minute. That job is not attractive enough for Richie Wellens to uproot his. His family have just moved down to North London. I don't think anyone apart from the team in the league above is going to get Richie Wellens out of a Leyton Orient contract. And why you'd uproot such a good thing at Leyton Orient, where you've got the fans who adore you, your team's getting better month on month, year on year. Admittedly, they lost yesterday, and go to Blackpool, where you move closer to your mum and your dad. But I don't think it's a better project at this point in time than Leyton Orient is.
I just thought, but yeah, okay.
I don't think they can get him.
No one from League Two suits that job. I don't think going down. I think they'll probably go for someone different on the 21s, like they did with Critchley, per se. So, right decision to that, Bruce.
The favourites are even Ian Everett's heavy favourite. Stephen Dobby, Liam Richardson's been mentioned. Luke Williams, maybe the ex-Notts County, Swansea. Whether Blackpool fans are patient enough for him to get on there. John Brady's been named as well. Charlie Adam Penn, since he left Everton in June, he's on there as well. So
I told him to apply.
Yeah, it's look, to be honest, it just shows you how quickly how mad football can move in the space of 12 months. Because 12 months ago, Ben, I remember going to Bloomfield Road and Blackpool were playing scintillating football. They were outstanding. They were great. They were creating chance after chance, getting results. They were at the top end of League One. They were, Steve Bruce had pretty much done exactly what he could. And I thought he was very good and untouchable. It sort of felt, but like you say, he's been back this summer and he's not performed the manner in which Simon Sadler wants him to. Therefore, his job's liable. And like you mentioned, there are so many factors at Blackpool. And he's not playing good enough football. The fans, they're not exactly the quietest bunch either. So when they're discontent, they're not going to sit there on their hands, are they? They're going to let you know about it. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think someone like a Luke Williams would be perfect for Blackpool. Good, big size football club for him. Big project for him to get his teeth sunk into. Fresh start. I think those players can play that sort of football. I think they've got good ball progressive players in the midfield, at the back. Up front, they've got people that score goals. I think he can turn Dale Taylor into a Macaulay Langstaff pot 2.0. So if I was Blackpool, I would be throwing my money at Luke Williams, personally.
7-goal thriller in Wales. Cardiff 4, Leyton Orient 3, Jake.
I thought, can you not get? Why are you doing this to me? This is
You
very.
go first, mate.
I feel like I'm being punished.
No, you
for
go
saying
first.
for saying that they couldn't get.
No, you're not. You go first. I'm giving you more time to talk today.
I'm not sure the people want that. I'm sure. In fact, I saw a comment on the last live saying, "I've been watching this for a few weeks now. I can tell that Ben knows a lot more than this Lincoln chappie," is what the comment said, which was very nice of the old gentleman that left it. I appreciate that you decided to take the time out of your day to leave that comment. But yeah, no, this one was a bit of a barnstormer. It ebbed and flowed both ways, and I thought it was two very good sides going at it. Fair play to Leyton Orient. They weren't scared. I mean, obviously Cardiff had been proven that they could be beaten in the midweek with a great performance away at Burton, home to a great performance by Burton at Cardiff, showed that they could be beaten. I think Leyton Orient went in with that mindset, didn't they? Where it was a hell for leather game of football, a bit of a game of basketball. There were mistakes in there. There was deflected goals. There was a little bit of all sorts. But yeah, I think I have to praise the attacking input from both of these teams. I thought going forward they were both very good. Connolly certainly stood out, and that goal from Don Ballard is as good as a goal that you'll get in League One, maybe in the EFL this weekend. Cardiff, the problem with Leyton Orient is, Ben, that defensively they're not quite set. I feel like Richie Wellens has got the attack pinpoint working exactly how he wants it to work. The combinations of Connolly and Ballard with Giselle Mazzuni and Wellens sort of getting up there with the help of the wing backs and Ramola and Clare as well. But the defenders, Beckles, Happy, Edmonds, Green, not quite been at the same levels as what they had been previously. Certainly Omar Beckles, who was coming off the back of a great season last year. So that's the one mistake really for Leyton Orient. Cardiff, I thought I didn't think they were fantastic. They played good football. They got the ball in the key areas. Callum Robinson is a player that shouldn't really be at this level. I think we both know that he's definitely far too good. And they scored some good goals, and ultimately they showed character to come back from 3-2. They showed character to after they've been beaten midweek to go again, because that's how you measure good teams, isn't it? After they lose, how do they react? And I thought Cardiff reacted well yesterday, beating a very good side. So yes, 4-3. It was a bit of a barnstormer, Ben.
Yeah, 7-goal thriller. Cardiff City starting better, and Leyton Orient came back in. It showed plenty of character. They had 11 shots on target yesterday, and they really got at Cardiff, who have been really solid this season. They've started to concede a few goals lately, 3 to Bradford, 3 to Leyton Orient, 1 to Burton, 1 to Stockport, but they weren't going to be watertight all season, were they? They were going to teams starting to get at them a little bit more. The first goal is an absolute gift. Osho has been a liability in a couple of the games. Bradford at home, we gave away the penalty. That yesterday, the missing Chambers, I think that it's not quite up to that standard. But they've got a really good squad. Really, really good squad of Cardiff City. Willock is outstanding, and they've just got so much talent in there. And when you look through the squad, it's full of talent. And every time they've had a bad defeat, like you say, they've come back. Colwell pulls the strings. Robinson has his experience. Great to see that Cardiff are doing well. They've scored 19 goals, played some tough sides, 23 points on the board from 11 games, over 2 points a game. And they've shown character, and when they've been tested, they've come back with a decent result. So, yeah, plenty of positives. Leyton Orient, they're in the game, they're attacking talent, but they're gettable at the back. They're conceding too many goals. They conceded 22 goals, in 11 games. That's not Leyton Orient. That's not what Richie Wellens builds himself on. So they need to be better. These slow starts every year for the third year in a row. Look, a point a game 2 years ago for Leyton Orient coming into this division wouldn't have been bad. Now different expectations, because this is a squad that has been invested in. They brought good players in. It's a minimum of a top 12, I would say, League One squad now for 2 solid years. You've got in my opinion, a top 3, top 4 manager at this level for what he gets out of that group. And the issue is with Leyton Orient is they blow hot and the cold, don't they? And they're often in games and they're often going on these great runs, but they can also go on a bad run. They've lost the last 3 now, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. They're in games. They are in games and they're competing. The 1-0 to Northampton. The only game they've not been in that was the Mansfield game where they lost 4-1 and the Huddersfield game where they lost 3-0. They can occasionally lose their heads a little bit. But when it looks well, and things will move in the right direction. And I'm certain they'll stop losing games of football and winning football will come. Winning football needs to come at Huddersfield, who have hit a bit of a bump in the road as they lose by 2-1 to Stockport. Stockport now won each of their last 3 visits. And each way they've received a red card, beating Huddersfield yesterday and Burton both in August and March. Sorry, David. Since Huddersfield won 4 of their first 5 opening Sky Bet League One matches with a defeat to Blackpool in there, only 2 wins and a draw and 3 defeats, 7 points in 6 matches. Pressure on Lee Grant, although they sit 6th in the League One table. Alfie May on corners. It was a new one to me. Yeah, very new one to me when you're in your best centre forward and probably the best centre forward in this division over the last 5 years. I think that he's taken over. I think, obviously, Clark Harris has now left League One, but Clark Harris was the man. I think that Alfie May is better than Clark Harris. And in terms of goal output, I think both of them are unbelievable. But I'd rather have Alfie May in my team personally. And corner kicks is, yeah, laughable. Good win for Stockport. They had to dig it out, and they have done indeed. And they went through a bit of a blip, didn't they? Plymouth away, there was pressure on Shalley and the players. Since then, 2 away wins at Rotherham and Huddersfield, both in Yorkshire, and 2 1-1 draws, 1 to Cardiff, which he should have won that, 1-0 up, late goal from Salek at the end for the Bluebirds, and a 1-1 draw to Reading, where they probably should have won that one as well. They're getting better, Stockport. They just sit outside the playoffs. Where do you sit with Huddersfield, Jake?
God, that's the question, isn't it? Because they've got such an array of riches in that team. But yesterday, I thought they were poor. They did have moments going forward. Huddersfield just didn't fall for the right people. I only watched the 2-minute highlights, but I didn't see the side that played last week that absolutely battered Exeter and should have won the game 5 or 6-0 at the very minimum. I think, I don't know. I think there do need to be questions asked of Lee Grant. The Northern football, which Kevin Nagle sort of inferred to when he was appointed, it's not quite coming in through. They're very hot and cold, aren't they, Huddersfield? We speak a little bit about clubs that are. You mentioned Leyton Orient. I think Huddersfield under Lee Grant are going to be very hot and cold. I mean, they were winning games consistently at the start of the season, and now all of a sudden they're going very hot and very cold. You look at that team that played yesterday. I mean, we say this every week, Ben, but the options on the bench are quite frankly ridiculous. How Huddersfield aren't winning every game 3-0 or at least on more points, I've got no idea. What are you looking at that? The squad, they've got the best squad in the league.
We're on talking.
Hey?
We're on talking.
They've not got the best squad in the league, in your opinion?
I think that why shouldn't they be winning every game 3-0? I think is very disrespectful to the division. Birmingham didn't do that. Did Birmingham win every game 3-0? Birmingham are better than Huddersfield by some distance, and they didn't. So I think you're not going to win every game. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, they don't win every game 3-0, and they are much better than the teams in that division. That you are going to stop. Let's be honest. They come up against a Stockport side, Jake, that are a good side.
I'm not doubting Stockport.
No mugs, Jake.
I'm not doubting
Stockport. They're going to spend money on wages. Don't get me wrong, but Stockport have invested in their squad. They have signed some players for significant sums of fees, and Stockport as good as Huddersfield. I genuinely believe that maybe not. They don't have the names, but they have great pedigree in that squad.
I wasn't trying to disrespect Stockport. That wasn't my intention.
Well, I know that, but it's unrealistic that every game. I get you. They should be on probably more points. The Burton game for them embarrassing, but you're gonna have games like that. It's realistic in football. You're gonna have enough. If every game went to plan, Jake, Lincoln would probably be 18th, 19th in the division. We're being frank. Lincoln shouldn't be beating Peterborough 3-0 on the budget. and the players on the pitch.
Well,
For being like that.
Well, that's very true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I stand with Lee Grant. Whether he gets more time, whether he doesn't, I don't particularly know. But yeah, they were poor. They were very poor, and until that corner at the end, they didn't take anything. So yeah, fair play to Stockport. I thought Stockport were very good actually. Like you say, the penalty and the goal from Odin Bailey is a piece of brilliance. So yeah, well done Stockport. I thought they were fantastic and they deserve to win. So yes.
Bolton 2, Peterborough 1. Good win for the Wanderers, Jake.
Yeah. Mason Burstow again seems to be the real course of goals for Bolton Wanderers. Yeah, I thought they were good without being brilliant. Again, Bolton Wanderers, they had chances, but Mason Burstow, you stick that man in front of goal with a ball, and he takes both goals really well. The first one, yeah, I thought he was very good, Mason Burstow. He's added that. He's that talisman for them up front. I think a lot of their fans maybe expected Sam Dolby to be that man that was going to come in and score the goals based on his record at Dundee and Scotland. But Mason Burstow, that I knew that they signed on from Hull quite late on in the window, he's the one that's played. I think he offers something a little bit different to Sam Dolby. He offers that pace and behind that threat that worries teams. And when they drop 5 yards, you've got more time and space for the likes of Cousy Dubry, Thierry Gale, Force. Even if it's not them, it's Morley, it's Sheehan, it's Randall, it's Sissoko, it's Simons 30 yards from goal. So I think he just tactically offers Bolton something a little bit different. And yesterday, I thought they were very good. I think it's been a bit of a mixed start of the season for Bolton. They've dominated a lot of games. They'll probably think that they should be sat on more points than what they are. That you look at those 5 games that they've drawn. Ben's decided to disappear. No idea where he's gone, but I will fill the void until he decides to come back. Yeah, and Peterborough United, well, they did have some good moments. Obviously, the goal, I think it was from Peter Chioso, set up by Harry Leonard. Oh, he's back. I feel weird being over this side, Ben. Thanks. Everything okay in the Knapman household?
Oh, good.
You just dropped out, and I thought, where on earth's he gone? Yeah, I thought Bolton were very good yesterday. Very good value for the point. And to be fair, Peterborough much better than what they have been in recent weeks. Certainly better than last weekend's performance defensively. I thought they headed and kicked everything out that Bolton threw at them. Tom O'Connor's been a really astute addition for them at the back. But yeah, Bolton, despite not playing in 5th or 6th gear, are, that's the sort of game and result they would have died for when they were battering teams. And all of a sudden they don't play well. They end up beating somebody. So, yeah, a good win for Bolton that elevates them into 8th, 2 points behind the playoffs. I know we're not looking at the tables at this minute in time, but I'd say it's been a decent start for Shuey so far.
Yeah, they're not fancy, they're not flash. Performances are okay. Still don't feel they're electric. There's moments of that. Wigan, for example, I still don't think they're absolutely fully at the best, and Bolton Wanderers are 8, 2 points off the playoffs. So that shows you there's gears to go. It's a new team. Gale, Force, Cousy Dubry, Burst was a front four, were not there last year. Simmons Aran weren't there last year. Conway and Christie weren't there last year. Johnson and Frito Joseph were there. So 9 out of starting 11 yesterday have joined the football club recently. They're a new team. It's a new manager. It's a new squad. Things take time to click. They're a good, young, hungry team. I think at home they'll be excellent, and they have been. They've not lost a game at football at home yet this season, which has been strong for them. Away from home, they've yet to win. I still feel that they need an element of toughness and savviness, and that will grow as you win games of football and the experience grows. But they're now scoring goals. They've scored 2+ in every single home game so far, which is good. 3 against Wimbledon, 4 against Wigan. Big crowds were entertained. Their issue has been at the home recently, where they've been losing too many games of football in previous years. They seem to be a bit more on the front foot now. Peterborough, it's another defeat for them. You feel like they're going to get back to the ways. They win back-to-back games, and all of a sudden, the bump in the road again. The bottom of the league, 20 goals conceded. They didn't really offer much yesterday, but when you're struggling, Bolton away can be a tough place to go, and it is a tough place to go. there's moments in there, and there is quality in there, but when things get tough for them and they concede a goal, there's no one going like that for them, and there's no real determination there. There's no real. They've lost the core, and when you lose players one by one, that will come, and eventually you'll get punished. And I think that Peterborough are suffering with that a little bit now. For Bolton, they're getting there. I just still think there's a slip up in there. Like Burton away is that type of game where it could be, but I think Burton away they need to go there and win 2-3-1, 2-3-0 or 3-1, get a result. But then Huddersfield away Thursday night is the ultimate game where I think they're going to lose 1-0 and they'll have one shot on target. But then I think they can go and bounce back with a great performance against Cardiff, and then beat Vale, and you think, here we go. But then Stevenage is just a tough away game. You just feel like with Bolton, there's a banana slip still there. I just don't feel they're a good side. They're progressing nicely. I feel in a much better place. I don't think this is the most I've ever been convinced by Bolton. I think Bolton have been in better places, but I think over the long-term plan now, I feel this is more sustainable. Per se, it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Lincoln 0, Exeter 1, Jake. Exeter's second away win of the season, and another 1-0 win away at Wycombe. Exeter lost the previous 4 matches. Still drawless in the division, only them and Wimbledon yet to draw a game. 94th minute winner in this one. This is Lincoln's first home defeat in League One this season, since a loss to Wrexham last season and the end of the last game of the season. It was the typical Lincoln performance that where there was a bump in the road coming, and I mentioned that they've been pretty much scoring with every opportunity that they've had. Yesterday, they had 3 or 4 or 5 decent golden opportunities at the woodwork. They had one off the line. There's some golden opportunities that would have bounced in for them in previous weeks, but sometimes in football, you don't get the rub of the green. Exeter always seem to find a way under Gary Colwell. Lincoln 0, Exeter 1, Jake.
Yeah, I'm not going to bash Exeter because we've done what they did to us. There's many a times we've all been to that away game where we've been battered all game and you win 1-0 in the last minute. So fair play to them. Their game plan worked really well. They defended well. Joe Whitworth made saves when he needed to. They put the bodies on the line, and they genuinely had one moment in the whole game where they went forward, and they took it. Should we do better? Maybe we should do better for the goal. I don't know, but fair play to them for coming in and taking the one chance. Us, on the other hand, Ben, you were exactly right about the shot conversion. I hate saying that you were right, but you were. They were. We wouldn't have scored in a month of Sundays yesterday. We had so many chances. The one on the line, Fred hits the post. There's certainly an indication to me, in my opinion, that I think we probably should have had at least one penalty for I think on Rob Street. I don't think people will see, and I think people will say that I'm trying to get an excuse in, but I think we should have been given a penalty for a high foot. But look, we did enough to win. Well, we had enough chances to win 3 games of football yesterday, and we didn't. So yeah, like you say, we just need to I'm glad that game's out the way. I'm glad that we've had that where we've missed a load of chances, but the performance still very, very positive. I thought we were very, very good. We missed Conor McGrandles. I never really thought I'd ever say that. So, yeah, fair play to Exeter. They came and took the chance. They did what you need to do when you're away from home. They slowed the game down. They went down for treatment to kill momentum. They time wasted to kick the ball away. They did everything perfectly. And when that one opportunity came, McDonald took it very well. So, yeah, I'm not negative after we've lost, which is a real surprise for some, I can imagine. But well done, Exeter. I thought they were, like I said, they took the one moment and we didn't. So that's what won the game.
Yeah, good win for Exeter. They seem to find a way, don't they? And they get a win out of absolutely nowhere. You can just turn a couple of those losses into draws. Say they turn 2 of those losses into draws from 14 points. All of a sudden they're with Northampton, and we're saying they've had a good start to the season. And they can pluck a result out from absolutely nowhere, and they can be frustrating to play against. They're a well-organised bunch. Lincoln had the momentum. I thought they stemmed that quite nicely, to be honest with you. Maybe a type of game that Lincoln were expected to win. Lincoln had the ball. Lincoln were allowed the ball. Lincoln, I said this in my video. I literally said let Lincoln have the ball, let Lincoln come at you, let Lincoln be the dominant force. You'll probably get a better result. Where Lincoln don't have the ball and they can sit in the shape and counter-attack on you. Lincoln are very dangerous. I don't think Lincoln are as good when they've got the ball. That's something that I feel like is the next thing in the progression, where they need to be better on the ball at breaking sides down, like Exeter. There's going to be plenty of games. Games like that become more frequent at the end of the year, maybe January, February, March, where teams need results a little bit more, where teams start to adapt the game plan a little bit more because they are aware of the consequences. That is where you might see Lincoln come unstuck. I said in my video, I don't think Lincoln's form has been sustainable. I think that they've been great and they deserve plenty of plaudits, and I'll be the first to ever praise Lincoln, but the shot conversion rate for and against was very, very good, and the for was very high. So there's always going to be, the shot conversion rate comes down and the shot against goes up, then all of a sudden a defeat like that comes into the mix. And Lincoln, I've never really liked losing a game of football in those
Never
games.
looked like losing yesterday at all.
But there you are, then. They don't look like losing games of football, and that shows signs of a good side. And there might be a day where they do deserve to lose, and they lose 2-0 badly, and it's how they respond to that. But I think the mentality has got to be now, okay, it's a bump in the road, it's one defeat. If all of a sudden you take this game, if you lost to Bolton away and you beat, say if you lost to them yesterday and you beat, so you lost to Peterborough, but you beat Exeter, you're probably just as happy, aren't you? Because you've got the same amount of points, and you're happy because you beat Peterborough. But for example, in terms of results, it is important. But Exeter deserve humongous credit to go there and win the game of football they are capable of. Yorkshire Derby on Thursday, Jake, 4-goal thriller. Bradford had to come from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 to Rotherham away from home in the New York. Just 1 defeat in 11 for the Bantams, all 8 points at home for Rotherham from 5 games. Still 0 away, just 2 wins in 10 for the Millers. Another opportunity missed for them.
Yeah, do you know what? I actually thought Rotherham were quite good. I watched this on Thursday night. I thought they were very effective. They disrupted. Oh, a bit of noise. They disrupted Bradford's rhythm, and I thought they were very good. Certainly in the first half, Dan Gore and Joe Powell in midfield, I thought they caused lots of problems. Lovely goal from Hall in the first half. There was one moments before I think he should have scored to put them in front earlier. But I thought the game plan worked really well. They brought Sheriff on at half time, and I thought again he caused problems for the lads at the back for Bradford, McIntyre especially, Sheriff, and he ended up going and scoring. And at 2-0, it didn't flatter Rotherham. I didn't think. I thought they were very good value for it. But what cannot be understated is the character and the nous of this Bradford City side. I thought when he made the changes, I think he brings on Metcalf, he brings on Humphreys, he brings on Cook. Cook's the big one for me. He changes the game by bringing on Andy Cook. Will Swan had a decent game. He was lucky not to be sent off actually, but he missed a couple of sitters in the first half that maybe he should have scored. But Andy Cook adds that physicality up there, that presence which they lacked up there. They lacked the ability to go long in the first half and relieve the pressure, which is why Rotherham were coming constantly wave after wave at them. And once they brought Cook on, they had that focal point. They had that point up front where they could now start playing off him. And they did it really well. And the second goal is the exact epitome of that, where the ball goes into Cook, he bodies a defender and plays it into Patterson, who had one moments before that he put wide, but this time he made no mistake. And yeah, I mean, I think both teams were quite good. Rotherham in the first half, especially Bradford in the second half. I think we got to the right result. But I think when you're Rotherham, I mean, it's exactly the same. Ben, we said it after when we went and watched us away at Huddersfield last year. We played really well first half, like Rotherham did. But you'd rather be the team that play well second half and come back, because it feels more like a win. It feels more like, you've achieved something rather than being 2-0 up and it feels like a massive loss. So, yeah, positives in there for both. I think Bradford will be happier, but I think there's plenty for Matt Hamshaw to take on board and take into the next couple of games.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jake. Good point for Bradford. Again, there's going to be games like that. They're not going to win every game, but 24 points from 11 games is unbelievable. And they bounced back from that Doncaster game so well, I've genuinely believed. Wycombe 2, Barnsley 2, 9 points in 11 games for the chair boys. He did come from behind yesterday. Their lowest tally at this stage of a third-tier campaign since 18-19, which was their first season in this division. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat for Michael Duff so far. 2 early goals from Barnsley. Well, 2 goals from Barnsley in the tie, and 2 late goals from Wycombe to rescue a point, showing some fight back. No winning 5 in all comps for the Tykes. Barnsley's first draw away from home was a point on the ball. Would they have taken it before the game? Probably on the Duff, but 2-0 up, they need to be doing more. What did you make of this one, Jake?
Difficult. I thought, sort of basic case in point, like we spoke about with Rotherham and Bradford, really, in my opinion. Barnsley, I thought Reyes Cleary was fantastic. He nicks the ball off Connor Taylor, who's had a rocky start to life at Wycombe, but to be fair, he played a back pass minutes before the first goal where he should have been punished, but Barnsley weren't able to capitalise. Davis Keeler scoring a goal after Bland had hit the post. So you're thinking 50 minutes in, perfect away performance. Barnsley done really well, sit in, defend it. But that's where the issue comes with Barnsley. When they're forced to defend, and when you put this Barnsley team under pressure a little bit, it does feel like they do often crack. And, the first goal comes 88 minutes in. You'd think that's a consolation. But basically, they're just so deep, and they allowed Wycombe to come onto them. And when you allow a team that does have quality in it, the likes of Sam Bell, who's had a good loan spell so far from Bristol City. You've got Dan Harvey, who's very, very good. Players that came off the bench, the likes of Huggins, Fink, who's very good, Collie Woodrow, Lowry, who ends up getting the goal. Look, I don't think he means it, but still, that Barnsley dropped so deep that they basically they allowed Wycombe to have an opportunity to get something out of the game, and that's what will disappoint Conor Hourihane. But Michael Duff will be absolutely buzzing. I'm sure he's pleased to get something out of a game where he thought they were going to get nothing. It's a little bit similar to Rotherham and Bradford, really, whereas where Wycombe are taking the part of Bradford. But a decent point for them. Yeah,
with Barnes, there's games like that for them. I feel like at times he can look spectacular, and you can tell he's a young coach, Conor Hourihane. I really like him, but there's times where they're a bit naive in games, and you feel they can't really get through a tough moment in a match, and that is one thing they have to work on. But 1.7 points a game, 9th in the table, 5 wins. It's not a bad thing. They've got good talent in there, Cleary, Vickers, Keeler done 6 goals already. And they were excellent at times yesterday. But just can't quite deal with those second balls, just can't quite deal with that momentum to get through a game of football. And Wycombe look a lot more front-footed now. They look a lot better. They're playing to their strengths. It feels like they can be direct, they can play football at times, they can cross into the box, and it feels like there's a feel-good factor. They're playing for the shirt. Again, there's a bit more momentum, there's a bit more fire in the bellies. And second half, I don't think they get that performance under Mike Dodds. I feel like they play the same way and probably end up losing that game 3-0 or maybe 3-1. The hunger to get back into that game was evident yesterday. 2 really late goals, which 5-minute period in games are key. The 5 minutes after a goal, you've got to stay switched on. You cannot concede another goal. It's criminal if you do, especially when you're 2-1 up in the 88th minute. You cannot concede. And Barnsley soaked it up, and the ball drops edge of the box, and it just finds a way to trickle in. And you're feeling, here we go again. And look, it's a difficult start for Barnsley with the games they've had to be, just a level with Huddersfield. It was above Stockport County. Well, no, level with Huddersfield and Stockport County in the table. They go above Stockport on goal score. That doesn't really matter right now, but it all of a sudden looks different, averaging just under 2 points a game. It's now how Barnsley react, because they have been evident over the last years to concede too many goals. And 14 already this year. They've got to cut that number down a little bit. Tough games coming, by the way. I don't know if is the game on Saturday against Cardiff, but I know certainly they've got Bradford to come. They've got Rotherham, Doncaster. That's 3 Yorkshire derbies that are different in their own right. Northampton and Luton after that. Every game is tough in this division. It'll be interesting to see where we go from here with Barnsley, but good fight back from the chair boys. Doncaster 1, Burton 1. 1 win in 20 against Sizing Yorkshire for Albion. 11 defeats, 7 draws, 3-0 winner with Doncaster in 2021. I think that was the year of lockdown as well. So David must not like going to Yorkshire. And they don't win on Saturdays either. They're not won on a Saturday for eight since the opening day of the season. So they got a great win midweek. Confidence that'll do. Great performance. They dug in, got a 1-0 typical lower league Burton Albion fight, sticking in the game, riding your luck at moments, scored a great goal 10 minutes away from the end of the game. Charlie Webster popping up. Might have not been at his best recently, but that's what good players do. They find a way to score late goals and good goals for themselves and the football club. And a point away at Doncaster, that's 4 points in 2 games. I feel Burton are better suited away from home with the way they set up, the way the squad is. They do struggle for goals. They do struggle for chances created. Shade getting a goal yesterday. Great ball through, composed finish. And you can see elements of what Gary Bowyer is trying to do. They were much better second half. They were much more in the phases you can see on statistics. The game highlights, Burton were much better in that second half. And there's plenty of positives. My issue is now they've got to take that away from home to at home. At home is going to be important this year for Albion. They're going to have to be a lot more at it. You can see the shot on target yesterday. 5 on target. They were a lot better. Doncaster again. They weren't really creating much when they were winning. I felt they were scoring with every opportunity, and they looked solid. They've just hit a bit of a bump in the road. It's a point gain. It stops the rot, but they need to get back to winning ways sooner rather than later. It's still been a solid start. Where I think Doncaster are between 10th and 15th will be a good year for them. Grant McCann's a good manager, but they've just hit a bit of a bump in the road, and you can really see that they haven't really got much attacking quality. Luke Molyneux's been a bit quiet.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Billy Sharp is an older pro. Ultimately, they're relying on Owen Bailey for goals. His goals have dried up.
He's a right back.
You're not going to be able to be consistent with that. And eventually, when the goals dry up, Doncaster score with it. You look through Doncaster's performances this year, and I went through this with Jack Herschel yesterday. They beat Exeter 1-0, late penalty. Great turnaround at Mansfield, 2 late goals. I think Bailey got them both that day. Beat Port Vale with only shot on target. You got a point against Wycombe, which fair play, good result. Beat Rotherham 1-0 for Owen Bailey. They beat Bradford 3-1 where they were spectacular. But other than that, they've been a bit up and down, haven't they?
Haven't they? Yeah, I was about to say that actually, Ben, before you made the point on Luke Molyneux. I've been quite disappointed with him. I'd heard big things and how well he played in League Two last year and how big of an attacking input he was going to be for Doncaster, the main man. But I mean, he's had chances. I mean, yesterday he had several chances. He had one that he dragged wide. He had one that he basically passed onto the leg of Brad Collins in the Brewers' goal. So I feel like so many points last year, Doncaster turned to either Rob Street, obviously, to score the goals, but mainly to Luke Molyneux to create. And in League Two, he was able to do that at a canter. It was very easy for him. He's stepped up a league, and all of a sudden, it's like people know about him and people are doubling up on him and they mark him out of games, and it's effective. He needs to figure out a way where he just needs to be a little bit cuter, a little bit cleverer to try and figure out how to impact games. But I'm sure it will come because he's technically a very good footballer. And they had chances yesterday, Ben, like you mentioned about the shot conversion rate, like you did with us. They had chances. Billy Sharp should score. He should score certainly at least one. They put the bodies on the line, the Burton Albion defenders, and they're stuck in the game, and they get the reward in the second half. Tyrese Shade, who I think has been threatening a bit of a real good performance in a Burton shirt, gets him behind, causes problems. I think he's a real good sort of partner for Jake Beasley, who had a decent game, who not only tore me apart on FIFA last night, but also had a decent game yesterday. Had a couple of opportunities which he missed, added to the XG, which he's missed already this season. But Tyrese Shade, lovely finish for the goal, and Burton had chances. Charlie Webster hit the bar. Lawler in goal, I think it was for Doncaster, made a couple of really good saves. So, yeah, I thought it was a good point for Burton, probably a better point for them than it was for Doncaster. It's weird. We had 6 winners or losers yesterday and 6 draws. So it's a bit of a weird League One Live this weekend talking about draws and in such detail. But yeah, I think it was a good point for Burton, backing up the really good win at Cardiff in midweek. So yeah, I thought they had chances. Burton, but it's that quality up front, isn't it? Where they, if they had a proper competent centre forward who's in a bit of goal scoring form, they probably would have taken it and probably be walking out with another 2 points in the back of the car. But yeah, I certainly feel like this last week they've massively improved, and Gary Bowyer deserves a lot of credit for that.
I don't want to see what's in your drawers, to say the least. That's all I'll say.
I've seen a couple. You have seen 2 weeks. I'll show you.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I'll beat your FIFA at the same time.
Really? I'll go after this then, mate. If you're that confident,
you can't. Can you cross play on PS?
Oh yes, I've figured it out, mate. I figured it out.
Have you? Right, yeah.
I hope you're ready.
Right. Okay. Plymouth 1, Wigan 1. These are two sides. One started appallingly. One started quite well, and then it switched. To be fair, Plymouth have actually, since they beat Blackpool, they've won 4, drawn 1, and lost 2. 13 points across 7 games, which is a game. And if they carry on averaging that, you could see Plymouth really dive up that table. Talib scored 6 and 6. It's good to see him getting off to a good start, because there's a bit of a patchy start. You come into a side that was losing, and from a side that just got promoted, and it's a big move for him to a big football club. A long way from where he's been previously. Wigan getting a late point away from out. Late point, I'll probably be correct. 82 minutes is not late. It is, in my eyes. Anything past 75, 80 minutes is late, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah. 75
What do
minutes.
you count as a late goal?
Game, isn't it?
Yes, I'd say anything, maybe anything over 80 minutes is late, I would say. But a good point for Wigan on the road, because I think they've been unlucky of who they played away. They've not won in 6 away, but I'm trying to think without looking. They've definitely played Leyton, Orient. They played Bolton. They played Luton. They played Lincoln, and they played Plymouth away from home. And there's been another one in there somewhere. But they've got 3 draws and 3 defeats, which it's not bad. It's not great. They need to stop winning games of football away. They're still a little bit off where they want to be. And I think they're at the start of the progression, at the start of a new dawn, and at the start of a
new day, new life for me.
Things take time. These 2-year plans take time. And the one good thing I'll say about Wigan, I can see an identity. I can see what they want to try and do. And I can see a clear plan. I can see a philosophy. And I can see what they want to do. And I can see a style of football. And if they lose, I feel that they can bounce back, and you're going to get something from them. You know what you're going to go and watch. You don't sometimes see that with other teams, right? And that's one thing I'm criticising certain teams of at the minute. With Wigan, they're getting the odd result, they get the odd bad result, but I think this is what Wigan are. They are a middle-of-the-road League One football club and a team right now. If they can break into the top 10, I think it'll be a great season for them and just flirt with it. Plymouth are getting better. I still don't feel fully convinced on Argyle, but they are slowly getting a few wins together. Look, if they would have won that yesterday, Plymouth Argyle would have been set on 15 points and been level with Mansfield. A point behind Luton, 2 behind Barnsley, 2 behind Bolton, 4 behind Huddersfield after a really bad start. The next 4 or 5 games for Plymouth are massive. I'm not really know what the games are for international game that have been overshadowed for international duty, because I thought I was going to get a week off next week, and then it looks like there's loads of games on. Great. Mansfield away, Wimbledon at home, Exeter away, Huddersfield away. This is where we need to see Argyle away from home turn up. We need to see digged results at home. Wimbledon at home is going to be a game where Wimbledon at home should win that. Wimbledon are a good side and they're well set up. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I thought to be honest, I thought if there was likely going to be a winner, I thought it was going to be Argyle. I thought, again, we said it last week, I feel like Laurent Talai is pretty much the main guy at Plymouth, and it certainly looks that way. Penalties, free kicks, pretty much every attacking highlight that Plymouth have got seems to be going through Laurent Talai. Had a couple that he missed, he skewed one wide, put a free kick over. But he really seems like he's sort of settled into that green shirt quite nicely, doesn't he? And for the fee paid, you'd hope so. But I think he definitely adds more than just that attacking output. He offers the hold-up play, the ability to occupy defenders, and his goal yesterday was really well taken with the little dink. But like you say, Ben, with Wigan, they are what they are. We say it about teams that are maybe a little bit more physical. Wigan know exactly what they're going to get under Ryan Lowe, which is what we say. They are very good going forward and had lots and lots of chances in this game. Mullin flashed one over. There was one that went wide. There was a couple of good saves from Connor Hazard, who's been a real big plus, by the way, for Plymouth Argyle since coming back from injury. So, I thought if either team were going to win, I thought it should have been Plymouth. But I think it's a good point for Wigan on the road. You see, it stopped the rot a little bit after the couple of defeats that they've had in a row. So yeah, a decent point. Plymouth, like you say, had they won this game, maybe like they should have done, they'd be sat comfortably in the top. Be sat, middle of the road, couple of points outside the playoffs, but not disastrous and definitely recoverable. So yeah, battle of the mid-table teams this one, and it ended in a draw.
Another battle of mid-table. Reading 1, Mansfield 1. Jack Marriott 5 in 5 for him.
In form.
Reading love a 1-1, don't they?
Don't they?
I don't know with Reading. I feel like they've lost the spark, if I'm honest with you. I feel they've lost that little bit of fire. And you're playing within, the probably squad was about here, and they're playing up here because they were fighting against the owner. Everything was to prove that person up at the top wrong. And it was about really being the best versions of yourselves and representing the football club in a time of adversity and giving the support something to be proud of. Now everything's settled, I just feel they've lost that bit of momentum and they've lost a little bit of spark and become a little bit too comfortable, if I'm honest with you. And look, not losing games. They've actually only lost 1 in 6. So, Mansfield have actually scored in 10 of the 11 games this year. So they are often scoring goals, Mansfield. And when you score one, you are often going to get a positive result if you are watertight at the back. And, Reading just drawing too many. I just feel these are two sides that are going to finish anywhere between 11th and 18th.
Yeah, I to be honest, I watched the highlights and I actually, despite laughing at my screen hilariously because your mate missed an absolute sitter in the first half, I thought Mansfield were actually quite good. They had lots of moments. There was one that bounced on the line that maybe looked like it was over the line. Mariah Walsh, I think it was. They had lots of really good moments and had a goal disallowed for offside. I thought Mansfield were probably the better team. And I remember when I came on here after we played Mansfield, I praised them quite heavily. I thought they were a really good side. I think they are very good under Nigel Clough. And they're one of those teams that have raised the ceiling amongst the current group. And I think there's lots of reasons to be positive about Mansfield. I thought they were brilliant yesterday and probably should have won this game. Reading, I agree. I think it just shows you how big of a player Harvey Nibbs was for Reading last year, creativity-wise. I think he freed up Lewis Wing. I think Doyle's not a bad player but he's not a midfielder. So why you'd attempt to play him there, I'm not particularly sure. So. Yeah, I thought Mansfield were very good, deserved to win, and were probably slightly conned by the referee. But still, a decent point on the road for them. Tyler Roberts now 2-2. He'll be pleased for himself. But like we said about Talai, like we said about Devante Cole, Jack Marriott's gone in there and lit it up at Reading, and sometimes it just works. And it was a well-taken goal yesterday. So, yeah, 1-1, two teams that are probably going to be mid-table, but I think they're probably going to be two of the better mid-table teams by the end of the season.
Agree with you. If you could all do us a favour, give us a like on the video, subscribe, the stream. Over 55% of the people that watch the streams, in total 65% on the channel are not subscribed. So go down there. If you found some extra content, just press join. If you're on a mobile, laptop, whatever, you can press join down below. It's easy to join. Very close to 50 members now on the channel. So if you want to go down there and hit join, we're at 47 members. If you fancy joining the party, extra content, 3 bonus videos a month, couple coming this week as well. We've not missed any games, have we? We've done all the 1-1s. On to Port Vale 0, Northampton 0, a battle of two sides that are in decent form. Northampton, no side have conceded fewer goals in the league than Northampton Town, tied with Stevenage on 8. The Cobblers are being hard to beat. 5 clean sheets in the last 6. Northampton have to be tight at the back. They have to be strong, because I feel that they have got 1 goal in them at the least. I think sometimes you've got 2. And I feel that they're a side, if they go 1-0 up, they'll win 2-0. Or they can get another goal. I feel that if they went 1-0 down, maybe at times they'll struggle to get back into the game or find solutions. But they're a good side to nick points. And I kind of looked at this game before and I thought, okay, it is that type of game where both sides are in decent form. Both sides want to really make that known and get a win in this one. Because if Port Vale got a victory yesterday, all of a sudden they're sat on 14 points, Northampton get an extra 2 points. I think the draw was the most likely outcome, because both of these sides look at these types of games to get the 50 points, looking at beating each other. So it's like, obviously you look to beat everyone, but realistically you think, there's our 3 points when you look at the fixtures. 5 points on the road for Cobblers now, which is good. 10 points across the last 4. Now, I mentioned this 4-game period for Port Vale. I said I think they needed to get a minimum of 8. They've got 10, which is good. And they've got 3 clean sheets in there. 2-2-0s away. A win at home 2-1. Could have won it last minute, 0-0.
Tale of 2 goalkeepers, this one, Ben. Both goalkeepers made some really good saves. Probably Ross Fitzsimons, the best of the bunch. Right at the end, I thought these two cancelled each other out really well. 2 teams that have been in good form, like you mentioned there. I think both will be happy just to continue the run going into international break, where I'm not sure. Again, we're not sure as to who's cancelled at the moment and who's not. It looks like both of these teams will probably be in action by the time the weekend comes. So just to continue that run, Northampton returning home against Rotherham, Port Vale going away to Wimbledon. They'll both be looking at those games thinking they maybe continue that run. So, yeah, 2 decent sides in good form, cancel each other out, battle of the goalkeepers, and they both made good saves to draw 0-0. Should we do some predictions then?
Good game week. If you've got any comments, get them in down below. Keep liking, keep subscribing. Thank you so much for 18,000 subscribers. It's appreciated.
I will confess, viewers, me and Ben are not, as you may or may not know, we've not been feeling 100% tonight, have we, Ben? We're a little bit under the weather. Well, certainly I am under the weather. I know you said you weren't feeling great. So we've got to 1 hour and 12 minutes and we're still here. So we're still able to talk. So well done, Ben. I'd like to say well done to you both. Anyway, predictions, Ben. Well, we might as well not bother about midweek because we both stank the gaff out and got none. We both predicted comfortable Cardiff wins. Obviously, they got beat. You predicted a Blackpool win. Shock. I predicted a Luton win, and neither happened. They drew, so no points. And to be honest, Ben, when I was going through this morning and writing down the predictions, on this first page, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, right? Do you know how many points I got on these 8 games? Have a guess.
None.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty bad. So this
League
week,
One pundit, by the way.
Yeah, league. Yeah. Apparently, you got 6.
We don't really predict draws.
Yeah, nothing has won and lost in October, Ben. I've been saying that for weeks, haven't I? Look, you got 6 points. I got 2. Do you know which game? Do you know which game you got the correct score in? And I'll give you a clue. It was a game in which I took the prediction that you wanted, but you had to settle for something else and got it right. Any ideas?
Was it Stevenage?
No.
Stockport?
No.
Bolton?
It was Bolton. I said 2-0 and you basically told me to F off. You wanted 2-0 and got 2-1. So I don't know what you were moaning about. You got the right score in the end eventually, hey? So well done. Right. I'm currently looking at BBC Sport telling me that there's 8 games of football on. So what we'll do is we'll predict those 8 games. And if some of them are cancelled for international breaks, we'll laugh and call it a day. Ben, I'll start with you. 2:00 kickoff on Saturday because of the rugby. It's because of the rugby. Don't worry, it's because of the rugby. Oh yeah, sorry Ben. I should do the how many points one. I've just been reminded. I am on.
If you won, by the way, 6-2, we'll be doing points. But yeah,
If I
like the tables that get mentioned, Lincoln lose.
I'm on 65. Ben's on 74. So look, Ben, you were this far in front this time last year, and I spanked you anyway. So
And Walsall. So yeah,
exactly. Ben. Anyway, Northampton versus Rotherham at Sixfields, 2:00.
Oh my God.
I think this game's in the balance for Corlos because I think they've currently got 2 internationals. Northampton, sorry.
2-1 Northampton.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1 each. Ben, Wimbledon versus Port Vale. It's me. Sorry, don't say a score. I'm gonna go AFC Wimbledon 2, Port Vale 1.
2-0 Wimbledon.
Ben, those Brewers against Bolton Wanderers at the Pirelli Tyre Stadium.
2-1 Bolton.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Bolton, I think. Exeter versus Reading at Exeter. How reactionary do you want to get? I think this is a game where I think they win back to back. I'm gonna go Exeter 2, Reading 1.
Of course you are. Reading love a 1-1. 1-1.
Leyton Orient versus Doncaster, Ben.
2-0 Leyton Orient.
Yeah, I had that. I'm going to go Orient 3, Donny 1. Stockport versus Blackpool. That's apparently still on at the moment. Ben, as a Blackpool fan, is that accurate?
Yeah.
Thanks for not arguing. Stockport County. Stockport County 2, Blackpool 0.
Stockport 0, Blackpool 1.
There's a surprise.
Dobby, talk Dobby to me. There we are.
Wigan versus Wycombe, Ben. Here we are. Charlie Keegan,
Wigan
and Paul Thorpe. The trio. That gets you every time. When I say Paul Thorpe, you just chuckle to yourself, don't you? You can't help it. Yeah. I never met Paul. He's the only one of the Progress Unity podcast I've never spoken to.
I've not met any of them.
But he gets spoken about on here all the time. So Charlie or Barry, let him know that we do talk about it.
If I'm honest with you, I don't get to meet these people anymore. I don't know why, but I don't get to meet these people anymore.
I'll tell you why if you like.
You don't need to, and I won't be anywhere near to meeting them unless they fancy a trip down to my end.
FA Cup might happen.
Yeah, we like joining Wigan in the cup. To be fair, well, Wycombe meet Wigan recently, didn't they? But I think Wigan get back to winning ways. 2-1.
I'll go 1-1. I think draw. Anyway, that's the 8 games. Obviously, if they're postponed. At the minute, we're planning on doing a show, aren't we, for next week? But obviously, if there's a couple of postponements, we might not be here.
I just can I put Cater for a requested time off?
What PTO? Do you want me to do the show on my own?
Yeah, the World Grand Prix finals on. I'm watching a week with the nose, and I'll have it on. Yeah, I might have to move my TV over here.
I'll tell you what, Ben. I'll tell you what. I'll do the show on my own, right?
No. We'll do it. You're not. I'm not trusting you.
What do you mean you're not trusting me?
You. I'm still doing the show. Don't worry. I'll watch the darts at the same time.
You just sat Russell Martin. That's nice.
Blackpool. There you are. About time.
Peterborough next. Fergie to go.
Yeah, could see it. Any questions down below? That would be appreciated. If you could already, 66 of you, get liking, get subscribed, all that jazz. Down below.
Seeing you in a couple of weeks, Ben.
We are.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Under 2 weeks now.
Chesterfield away.
pre-Stevenage.
Well,
We're looking forward to that, aren't we?
yeah. Get a lot looking forward to talking about your game. It'd be great.
Members content in the last time we're gonna be able to do it in this establishment.
We'll do a members video. Doesn't affect me.
I don't know. At the minute, I think I quite like it. It's a bit of a recharge ahead of an important game against the league leaders.
I wish we were off.
Have you not? How many internationals do you have? Elliot Bonds is an international, isn't he?
Oh God, yeah, forgot about that.
Does he not play for Guyana? Is it Guyana?
Yeah. Who else have we got? I think that's it.
Have you got no one that plays like for some like Scotland under 21s or like Wales?
No, we used to have a load, but they've all left. We've got no assets now. So
Mackenzie Hunt, mate. I don't know why you ever let him go.
I miss him for a weekend. Yesterday, I'm trying to think. None of them will be. And the bench, no, not really. No.
Didn't Harrington get called up for Wales?
Yeah, but he doesn't play for us. He might play for Wales.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, but if it's a senior international call up, he get it.
Yeah, but he won't get called up if he doesn't play. He's not playing with football for like a year.
That's a shame.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah. There'll be things happening at Fleetwood soon, anyway. So I guess so.
Very good. I have subsequently just looked at your Instagram story. I very much did. I did enjoy your Instagram story.
That wasn't actually a dig.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, clever.
I love Laws. He's a good coach.
Yeah, no, I bet he is, mate. Yeah,
he's a great coach. Honestly, Law is a great lad as well.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to hearing more about Mr. Lawler.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Because I'm sure I will.
No, right. I want you to sit off my manager. I am not. I want Pete Wild to remain our manager. I do, but things have got to change. I can't talk about it because it's not League One, is it? But I'll do that on the show tomorrow with Seb. So
we've got Seb coming on.
Yeah, I'm in full trust of Pete Wild at Fleetwood, and that was not a dig. It was Laws as a top coach. I just think Fleetwood need to change something. There's something missing, and it's evident at this moment in time. 5-minute periods are killing us, and gotta go and get through it. That's all I'll say. Right, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Plenty of League One and League Two content coming. We've got an in-depth video on a club coming this week. Stevenage. Are we going for the trio? Bolton do a video, they lose. Lincoln do a video, they lose. Stevenage. I've got Lincoln up next. So
they'll probably win.
Yeah. He before messages me going, can you make a video on Stevenage? I thought, why did he want me to do that? And I'm like, oh.
I'm playing life in 4D, mate. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, I thought that.
We have a show next week, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll have a show, yeah. We'll definitely have a show. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking by me. We've both been under weather today, so thanks for sticking with us. Been appreciated. And
it's a short one, look.
Until next time. Don't always judge it by its length. Judge it on its quality. And that might not be its best today. Not been its best, has it? But I've been a bit cranky. You've been a bit ill. So there we are. We are top of the league. Yeah.
God, let's end it before we realise that, please.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Until next time, give a like, subscribe down below. Bye all.
Ciao.
Oh, a big thank you to Jake as well for coming on as always.
That was bad, mate.
Jake has been amazing for three years now, over 100 shows with him. I think I worked out before. I think he's done 120 shows.
Is it?
Yeah, out of 135 possible since he joined, which is unbelievable.
Great. That's great availability, isn't it, that?
15 missed between the years of 23-24 season, but I won't mention it. But there was a run of about October to December where he missed about 6 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Couple at 7.58. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the reasons will be
Well,
disclosed.
it's good job. It's good job. I'm pretty unlovable, isn't it? So I'll be single for the foreseeable.
I don't know. Yeah.
What's that look for, mother? Now that you've got those glasses, just do your typing on your phone. You do look like a proper middle-aged woman typing.
Ooh. Hasn't Debbie put on some weight?
Oh, my cat's died. Do you need
Have you seen?
died?
Have you seen? Johnny's at the bingo again.
Oh.
Have you seen it? Susan's on holiday again. I never go away. I've not been away for 5. I've not been away since lockdown.
Have you
seen? Tesco's have put the price of mince pies up by 60 pence. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Ooh, have you seen that? Lincoln City. They've lost 1-0 at home. Oh, they're going on a bad run. The Lincoln. Oh, not good. Oh, have you seen that? Jake Togg's cabal are out now. I can't get over it. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. You know about your love interest, young man. Someone close to your end. That's all I'll say. Anyway, you share a football team. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. You're wrong, by the way.
Flashes. Right, flashes. Trilogy away, away, away. Neil Critchley went back to Blackpool. That's all I'll say. Cottrell's gone back to Cheltenham. That's all I'll say.
Lee Johnson's going to go back to